Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, thank you. If you are a previous subscriber, welcome back. In today's video, you can see we are again here in front of my large 12 needle machine. What we are going to be doing today is I'm going to continue with the tote bag videos that I had mentioned in the previous 3-part video series. I will be doing 4 different bags and I'm going to show you each video, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you what we'll be stitching out, then I will have it stitched out, and when it is complete I will show you that completed bag. These are just going to be kind of really short and easy. That is because the 3-part video series really went more in depth constructing those bags. So these are just going to be, I'll show you what the design is, I'll show you putting it on, starting it, and then when it is complete I will show you the completed bag. That way it won't be a huge long video series, because there are going to be 4 additional tote bag sets, and I have actually something really exciting that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in another video that will end up being multiple videos on this new item. I purchased something that is going to hopefully help me with some projects in the future, and then also with some English paper piecing that I really enjoy doing in my spare time, that I can just relax and watch TV and then do some hand stitching. So it's going to help me do that as well, and then save some money in the long run. And I'm hoping that I will get to that video maybe either this afternoon or tomorrow. I purchased this item, and yeah, I'm just really hoping that it is going to help me in the future. But we're going to go ahead and jump into getting this bag started. So the one that we're going to be doing today, I already do have it here in the machine, so I'm going to go ahead and hit okay, so I don't need to cancel embroidery, so I'm going to stop that. Embroidery's already confirmed. I put the design into the machine and I selected all my colors. You can see the colors here off to the side. And I did that already because there are 10 different colors in this stitch out, with a total of 22 color changes. And this is actually what we're going to be stitching today. We're going to be doing a sunflower, and it is called the Sunflower Bloom, Sonnerbloom, and it's going to be really, really pretty. I'm going to be stitching it in the typical yellow and the gold kind of orangey colors, and I'm really hoping that this one turns out really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and get it on the machine. Let me lower us here a little bit, and I'm sorry for the angle, but we're going to go ahead, and I already have the bag hooped, and I went ahead and did this all off camera. It's going to save so much time in these videos to do this portion off camera. So when I hoop the bag, I need to make sure that my handle and the pocket of the bag goes up first, and that I'm not getting stuck on anything. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that up on there. I'm going to make sure that I get the pocket up here. I want it to be up here, so it's riding up here and there's no issues. And I think we look okay. I'm going to just kind of tug this just a little here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And I know this design is not going to be perfectly centered in this bag, and that is okay. I explained in the 3-part video series that I can't exactly center these designs in this middle panel of the tote bag. And that is because not every one of these tote bags is the same size. And to find the center, my center's way up here and my needle is clear over here. So it is going to be a little bit of difficulty getting that centered correctly. So we're just going to try to get the bag as straight as possible in the hoop. I'm actually going to have to take this off because I didn't do my hoop selection. So let's go ahead and do that part. Select my hoop. We are going to be doing the 314. Okay, so it's going to move. And I just selected it up here, and it is, you could see how it moved, so that's okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and put it back on. Get that back up in there. I always forget to do that. I go to put it on the machine and I'll forget that, oh, you got to select the hoop first. And it's always better to select the hoop without it on the actual machine yet, because if you have a bag that's a little too restricted, it can interfere with the movement, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit start. I'm going to let it stitch for a few minutes so you guys can see what it's doing. Then I will pause the video. It says 26 minutes, and I really don't believe that, because this particular pattern, it says, I think I have the wrong one in here. This one says it has 31,000 stitches in it, and I want the one that actually has more stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to here. I need to reselect my design. Let me move you guys up so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Sorry about all the movement, but okay, so we are doing sunflower. And I think I want this one, but I'm not going to know. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and transfer all of these into the machine. So this one, okay, and then exit. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at each one to see. Okay, so it's not that one. I need to go back, select this one. That one says 31,000 stitches too, but I know the 31,000 stitches is the small side. So let's, do I have to confirm? Yes, cancel embroidery. Okay, so I had to cancel that one out. I need to remove the hoop again and make sure we get the correct. Okay, so now it says 51,160 here. And when I'm looking at my printout, it'll show you what your stitches are up here for your sizes. And I know the particular size that I want has 51,160 stitches in it. And again, 10 colors, 22 color changes. And this one, it was a little, some designs will tell you design 1, design 2, design 3, and so forth. This one didn't do that in the printouts. And so I'm just kind of having to, okay, so we're going to confirm embroidery. We're going to go over here because I already do have all my colors set. I'm going to select the hoop. The hoop is the same, but I'm going to go ahead and select it again so everything is set for this this particular design. And exit. Okay, so I can see now that we are at the 51,160 stitches, and to be safe, I am actually going to put an additional piece of stabilizer in this one. I just have one layer of stabilizer. I don't know if you guys can see in here. I just have the one piece of stabilizer and I have it taped inside. I'm going to go ahead and put an additional piece of stabilizer inside because this is going to be a lot more stitches. I want to ensure that I know it is going to be stabilized well, and that way I do not have any issues with this stitch out. So I'm going to pause the camera, put the next piece of stabilizer in here, and then I will get it back on the machine. And right before I hit the start, I will restart the video so you guys can see it start stitching. I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and before I actually put it back on the machine, I'm going to show you here that I do actually have two pieces of stabilizer here, and you can see 1 and 2. We're going to go ahead and put this back onto the machine for about the 4th time. Sometimes that's just what happens. You have to do what you gotta do, and I'd rather keep it real with you guys so you know what to expect. There's a lot of those YouTube videos that you see that are professionally edited, and to me, that's just showing you guys, it's not showing you guys what really happens. There's, you know, a lot of little things that can happen in between those times, and it's best, in my opinion, if you're going to be doing a tutorial for somebody, that show exactly everything that's going to happen, that you can. That way you guys know what to expect. You know, I just took this off the machine 2, 3, maybe 4 times there, and that's just what happens sometimes. You think, oh yeah, let's go ahead and put that other stabilizer in there because stitch count may be a lot different than what the previous item was that you made, and in this case that's what happened. The previous bags that the tote bag tutorial that I did was more of a single line stitch out, and it wasn't as dense and as many layers as what this particular sunflower is going to be. So I want to show that it, you know, sometimes projects are going to take 2 layers of stabilizer. The next bag tutorial may not take 2 pieces of stabilizer because it is a lighter stitch out, and being that this is on a 100% cotton canvas bag, you know, on those lighter stitch outs, you don't need that much stabilizer. Just 1 piece will suffice in that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit start. We're going to go ahead and let it start the stitching, and then I'll pause the video, and then when it's almost done, I will be back. Okay, I'm going to adjust while... Okay, so there we go. It is starting. I'm going to stop for just a second, and I see that this thread right here may get caught underneath the other one. So I'm going to I just kind of clip them off and blow them out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and restart. And we're just going to go ahead and let that start stitching. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and when it's almost going to be an hour to stitch this out. It says 51 minutes, and I know that would have taken a lot longer on a single needle machine because all of the color changes, being that there are 10 colors with 22 color stops, like it showed in the pattern. 23 stops, 52 trims, 22 color changes. So you can see all that here in your information. And that takes a lot of time on single needle machines. thank God we went ahead and did the multi-needle machine so it can just produce items faster. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause, and when it is just about complete, I will come back and show you that last few stitches, and we will be right back. Okay guys, so I'm popping on just to let you know that I've had a little bit of issues with some thread tension on this number 12 needle here on the end, and I've had about 4 or 5 thread breaks on it, and I wasn't sure what the problem was. So I kind of looked in my troubleshooting with my machine, and I adjusted bobbin tension. I did adjust upper tension, and I know a lot of people tell you do not mess with your tension on your machines, but realistically, in a perfect world, okay, so let me stop. Okay, so you guys can see right here that I am getting some thread shredding again. Can you guys see that? I'm going to cut and okay, there you guys, you can see all that. So I've tried everything. I have tried lower tension, upper tension. I have tried removing, so I cut out some of the stabilizer. I did Google why I could be getting some thread breaks, and there was a website from, I believe it was Embroidery Library. Yes, Embroidery Library, that said some thread breaks could be caused by too much stabilizer. And if you remember correctly, I said I was going to add a second piece of stabilizer because this design was stitched out a little more dense. So I went ahead and I cut out that extra piece of stabilizer, and it is still causing the issue. The only thing I have not done is I have not changed the needle. So I'm going to go ahead and put a brand new needle in the machine. And the thing is that the needles that I do have in here are, they are titanium. And I'm going to replace that needle, and I will let you guys know if that took care of the problem. We'll see you soon. Okay, so I just finished changing the needles, and these are the ones that I am using. These are a titanium coated needle, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Hopefully, I don't know if you guys can see. Can you guys see that it is a gold colored needle or a copper colored needle? And those are these are a 9014, and I was using the 7511s that came in the machine, but I was having constant thread breaks on every single needle that would thread that or needle that would be used. And I had a friend tell me about going up a needle size, and that really changed my machine embroidery game. And I don't often use the number 12 needle, and I believe it's because you know, I haven't used it. For my designs, I haven't really used that many colors yet. I think this is probably the third one where I've actually used more than 10 colors in one design. And it's just, you know, I never set the tension on this particular needle. So I'm hoping that with this, we're getting it all figured out. And hopefully I'm not getting my big head here in the camera. I am trying to get this needle rethreaded, and then I'm going to restart. And the design is still okay because it is going to be stitched over where these areas are. So I'm not too worried about, and I have stitched over the areas that have had the tension issues, and we're not having any really drastic results in the stitch out itself, just the thread keeps breaking. Okay, so I'm going to hold the thread tail, and I'm going to go ahead and start, let's do, I'm going to, what I'm doing up here, I don't know if you guys can see, I am just adjusting, I'm setting my stitches back 50 instead of the 100. I don't need to go back a full 100. Well, maybe I do. And again. Usually I don't have to go back that far, but I'm going to go ahead and go back. I think I just went back about 250 stitches actually, so I'm going to go ahead and reset that and go take it back to the 100. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and restart, and hopefully this is going to fix the problem. I've adjusted the tension upper and lower. I've made sure my bobbin is in correctly. I removed the second piece of stabilizer, and up in this area where it's stitching now, there is not that second layer of stabilizer. It is hooped okay. And then I just changed the needle. So hopefully this is going to take care of the problem. I'm going to go ahead and restart. And I'm going to stop to cut this thread tail. And that's another reality of machine embroidery, is that you get problems like this that can happen. I usually use needles like 1 through 7, and I could have gotten away with probably a 6 needle machine, but I went ahead and purchased the 12 when I did get this machine, obviously. And okay, it is looking a lot better. But I've only used about 1 through 7, and then once in a while one over here. But I've never used needle number 12 in the almost the year that I've had the machine. I bought it in September, so not even a year. So it's looking really good. I don't see any more loops. My tension is looking good. There's no more loops on the top. Okay, so it seems to be stitching fine right now. If there are any more problems that creep up, I will pop back on and let you guys know. I'm going to go ahead and let this continue stitching, and we will see you guys soon. Alrighty guys, I'm popping back on again, and just to let you know that changing the needles did actually solve the problem. You do have to work through the process of what can be causing your issues. So I think it was a combination of multiple things. I do think my tension was messed up because I was having loops on top. So adjusting the tensions really did help, and then changing the needle did as well. We have moved on to the color we are on now is the 5th color, and it is doing an edge stitch around in black. And I'm not sure if you can see the other stitching that it did over some of the leaves. Maybe you can see some of the different colors of the green in there. But it is doing really well now. So I thought I'd just pop on and let you guys know that. If any more issues arise, I will pop on and let you guys know. If not, I'm going to just continue letting it stitching until we get closer to the end, and then I will pop back on and let you know. Alright guys, once again, I will see you soon. Okay guys, I am back. and I meant to come back when it just had a couple more stitches left to do so you could see it finish up, and I looked away and it was done. So I am going to pop it off the hoop, or at least pop it off the machine, and you can see the finished design. And there we go. And there is the finished sunflower. I will remove the center marking lines and press the design. And this one actually took over, I'm thinking at least a good hour or more with the thread breaks and things like that, and changing the needle. But I'm really impressed the way it turned out. I am going to go ahead and get ready to do the next bag, which is the flat bag, and it's going to have the same floral on it, the same sunflower, but it's just going to be smaller scale. And once I get that ready, I will be back and show you guys stitching out on that. So we'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, everyone, I completely forgot to restart the camera, and I started stitching out on the next bag. So as soon as I realized what happened, I stopped the machine and turned the camera on. So we have the leaves starting to stitch out, and it is the first color complete onto the second color. And I just totally spaced turning the camera on. I was just in work mode and just kept on kind of working and just spaced the camera. So I want to apologize for that. But this is the, whoops, sorry about that. This is the flat bag, and we are stitching the 4-inch size sunflower onto this bag. And I pretty much got it centered on the bag, or what, as close as I could get it. And again, with florals, you're going to try to get it as centered as possible in these round hoops. I just have a problem getting them centered correctly, and I am going to have to try to find a different way to try to find the best option to center them. I'm going to try to set them on a ruler and line up the edges of the frames and try to get the best possible center in them, and then mark them with a Sharpie or something on the inside, or score a mark in them with like maybe something sharp. So I always have those marks on there, and the Sharpie marks won't wear off. So I'm going to go ahead and continue stitching this. We're going to go ahead and start it. I'll let you see it stitching for a couple seconds there, and then I will pause the camera, and then again when it's on finished, I will come back and show you. So let's go ahead and start. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and let it continue stitching. I will pause the camera. And hopefully this time I will remember when it gets closer to the end of this design to come back on, so you can see the last part of the stitching and then the finishing up of it. Okay, we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay guys, I'm going to move you back up a little closer so you guys can see. It is just about finished. It has maybe 200 stitches left to go, and it's just some detail. And the next bag we will go to is the small black bag that matches the tote bag, and that one will be the initials. Just about done. About 10 more stitches. Okay, well actually we're completely done. Okay guys, so that is the second bag done. The third bag is going to be the initials, and then the smallest bag, we will not be stitching anything on it. I will be back in just a moment when I get the bag onto the machine. We'll see you in a second. Okay guys, so I have the next bag hooped. We can see that here, and I am going to go ahead and get this onto the machine. I do have it stabilized with a piece inside that I have taped inside, and I'm sorry for such the close angle. I'm actually not going to put this on the machine yet because I do have to set it in the machine. I have the bag off the hoop. I'm going to kind of pull the camera back here a little so you can see the whole bag. And there we go. I spray the bag with some water to remove the center lines. And when I trim away the excess stabilizer from the inside, what I do is I put the soft touch iron on inside. That way all the stitching is covered and they can be washable. So that one is finished, and that one turned out really good. I think I did a good enough job on getting it centered, and it looks pretty good. I really like it. Okay, so we're going to move aside, and I now have to, I'm going to go to my, come on. I'm moving my carriage over. And you can see my stuff stored underneath there. That's actually the hat hoop for the machine. So now what I'm going to do is I have to go into the machine, and the next bag is going to be for the initials. And you can see the bag here. I got it hooped, and it might not look perfect, but I have it in here as straight as I can. And when I did hoop it, I lined these edges of the frame up on a quilting ruler, so it may not look straight, but this was straight across with these. So that is what I'm going to just go by, and hopefully it's not going to be too far off on center. If it is really super noticeable and really off center, I will pick the stitches out and do it again. But I am going to tilt you up. Let me, oops, ugh, can't get my camera mount unscrewed there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause. I'm going to go ahead and set the initials into the machine. It'll just save time that way. And when I get that done, I will be right back. Okay, so I have my initials in the machine. I'm going to hit confirm embroidery. And I'm sorry you guys can't see it right offhand here, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set my color. And this is going to be done in a really pretty teal. So all the initials on these bag sets will be in the person's favorite color. And I have it set over here in the machine already. So I'm going to go to my confirm embroidery. No, we don't want to cancel. We want to select our hoop size. And I am down on the next hoop size. And we're going to confirm that. And we got that done. So it's going to move. Okay, so now I'm going to pop it onto the machine. I'm going to get that in there. Make sure the hoop's on there. Okay. And there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and start stitching. And this is literally going to take such a short amount of time. So I'm going to just go ahead and hit start. And I'm going to just leave it filming so you guys can see the stitching. And I got to stop because what it did is my thread tail on the machine was too short. So I am going to trim my thread. I'm going to pause so I don't get my big head in the camera, and I will be right back. Okay, So I got it rethreaded and I have my little thread tail here. I'm just going to restart. And I'm going to stop so I can trim the thread tail off. There we go, and continue. And this is in the initials ECF. And guys, it actually looks pretty straight. It's not that far off. The last letter is going to determine how bad it is. You can see my little storage over here. Sorry about that. It kind of looks a little messy. I'm still trying to figure out a way to get my room organized and neat. I have so much stuff in this room. Okay, there we go. It is complete. And that is it. We are completely finished with this bag set. I'm going to pop it off, let you guys see it. And there we go. ECF. Hope you can see that okay. And it looks pretty straight. What do you guys think? I like it in the smaller initials. Just keeps it nice, simple. So that one is complete. Our next set, we are going to... I'm not sure which one we are going to be doing yet. So when I get to that one, I will, again, I think what I'll end up doing again on that one is just... show you the big bag on the hoop, on the machine, start it, show you when it's finished, and proceed through the video. That way these videos aren't going to be too long. I didn't want this video to be as long as it already is. It happens. Okay guys, so I've got Luna the Crafty Kitty crying at the door, so we're going to go ahead and close this video. I'm going to get this edited and posted, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.